Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. And today we are discussing a bit about the planned release of the Kingdom Come board game. And this also gives us some quite juicy rumors about the upcoming sequel of Kingdom Come Deliverance. And the board game is based in the year 1421, and this gives us some quite interesting premise of the upcoming sequel. What happens in the year 1421? Uh, well, the lands of Bohemia would be filled with the Hussite Wars, so it will set up a lot darker tone of the game, if that's true. And speaking of the main characters of the game, well, now in 1403, Henry is regarded as young adult. So in medieval terms, he would be somewhere between 15 to 18 years maybe. And by the year 1421, he should be around mid-30s or something. And he will most likely be married to Teresa, who knows? Well, I think that's the most likely scenario. And Henry and Teresa will have children of their own, and maybe their children might be the protagonists of the sequel, as they would be around the same age as Henry would be in this game. And what about the other main characters who are present here? Let's take a quick look. The codex gives some historical information, and as we see here, the Radzig Kobula, Henry's stepfather, uh, he was killed already 1416, so he would not be present in the game, that is year 1421. And some other main characters, Hans Capon, for example, was already killed in 1419. So this text tells that he took part in some minor battles at the beginning of the Hussite War, but later events are somewhat mystery. But his son, Hynek, uh, would be, by the year 1421, he would be somewhat same age as Henry and Teresa's children. So who knows, maybe in the sequel we might see another dynamic duo. Who knows? But as you know, these are all just rumors and my own personal thoughts how things might be. Well, the Wikipedia shows information about the events of the Hinz Tacek or Hans Capon's son, and there are some information. He was quite active in Hussite wars. and there are some detailed information about the events of the Hussite Wars. It was quite major event in the whole Europe, but as you know, the lands of Bohemia were the center of it. And here are you can find details of the board game also, so maybe it's worth looking by. So, what other things might there be in the game? Let's set up torch first so we don't get fined. Right, let's go. 1421. This would include firearms that are missing in this game. Firearms were used on some scale in Europe, although they were still very experimental level, so there were some handheld guns and some first generation cannons used in war. So let's see what we have. We didn't have a crossbow, so who might know? And what else? Okay, enough about history. So what are my thoughts about the sequel? What might change, or what should change? Well, there has been lots of talk about the saving system. Most players seem to be disappointed about the saving system of the game, so using savior schnapps are considered to be quite bad. I personally, I found it okay. I don't have a strong opinion against or for using savior schnapps. It gives some, well, you have to remember, save the game by yourself. Well, as for the game mechanics, moving with horse was a bit, let's say, interesting or something. As you might know, you get stuck quite easily on some small bushes or rocks and so on. So moving with horse in forest might be a bit difficult. What else comes to mind? Well, story, for example. Well, here in first game, the story was left a bit hanging, so Henry's story was unfinished, and this might give us that there would definitely be a sequel where Henry's story finally gets an ending. But what kind of ending? You might say, if Henry is not the main character, who knows? If it's Henry's children, who finishes the story for Henry? And will Sir Radzig ever get his sword back? We most likely see Marquard von Aulitz finally, and there might be some events involved in some larger city. for example, Gutenberg or present-day Kutná Hora in Czech Republic. Um, and we might see medieval Renaissance style Prague as well, but it's nice to see how the game designers will make the city of such a large scale, as we are talking about a much bigger city than, for example, Ratai is. Ratai is quite small town. Okay, I think we are done doing our night stroll with pebbles, and what are your opinions about the coming sequel of the game? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and we continue waiting of the sequel. Okay, bye now.